Uno. Dos. Tres. I just blew your mind. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, and welcome back for more of Let's Play Pokémon SoulSilver. Last time, we completed our Kanto Legendary Bird Collection. This time, we're going to be doing the last of the things that we have to do in order to be able to set up all 16 Gym Leader rematches, which is what I intend to do right now. Unfortunately for me, the last time I attempted this fight, I died! So I'm not making the same mistake again. I'm going to be leading with Krako, see if that makes any difference. But in order for us to set up all 16 Gym Leader rematches, which I intend to do in either the next video or the video after that, we have to take on who is what I would phrase to be the second most challenging fight in the game. And since most of the Gym Leader rematches are at about our level right now, I'd like to get them all set up now, which would require getting all of these preliminary shenanigans out of the way, including this fight. Now, I've also gone about rearranging my item setup so that it's a little bit easier on me. I gave Krako the leftovers because he's going to be more like the wall in this fight. I don't think HCB is going to be of any use, really. I gave Crunch the Nevermelt Ice, you know why. I gave Lupus the Black Glasses, you know why. I gave Klaus the Choice Specs because he's not going to be doing anything besides Psychic. And I gave Duster the Choice Scarf so he could potentially be useful. Although I did get rid of Strength on him, thinking I needed Whirlpool. I don't, we're already here, but I'll worry about that later. If you come down here into the Dragon's Den after you face off against your rival in Mount Moon, he'll be here training. No, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I think it's kind of admirable that you're turning over a new leaf. Hi, Meganium. I wasn't trying to make a pun or anything. And we'll be joined by the two Dragon Tamers themselves, Lance and Clair. Really cool to see these guys show up here out of nowhere if you have no idea that they're actually... there's an event down here. It's really interesting to come across the first time, but they'll challenge us to a double battle! It'd be really cool if we could join Lance, champion with champion, against the two wannabes, I suppose, but... well, let's just say Snicker isn't all that enthusiastic about it. So he's going to insist that I join up with them. I'm not sure why he thinks I'm so much more of a worthy teammate than, say, Clair or Lance, because they're clearly stronger than either of us, but regardless, we get to face off against the final Johto Gym Leader and the champion of the Johto region on the same team, along with our rival. This is probably not going to end very well, although the fact that I'm actually attempting to do this again will probably come off as seeing that I'm somewhat confident, maybe? It wasn't even close last time, but this time I know to start straight off with Krako because Discharge is going to hit everybody on my team, and Meganium will resist it. So hopefully, if we can survive these first couple of hits, we can at least get off on the right foot. But what I have learned in my short experience with this game, the few times I've had the opportunity to face off against these two, I've learned that they tend to focus their attacks on your rival's Pokemon as opposed to yours. Of course, Gyarados went out and openly attacked me first, so we're kind of boned in that respect, and I'm actually not so unhappy about hitting Meganium with Paralysis because Dragonair was going to go for it anyway. But if we can at least take down some of their Pokemon before our rival loses his, we stand something of a chance. In this fight, both Lance and Clair have 3 Pokemon that they can use, and your rival has 3 Pokemon that he will use. But you can use all 6 of your Pokemon, so in that respect, it's like a 6-on-9, but it's, given the situation, given the kinds of Pokemon you have to face off against and what their levels are, especially considering the fact that Lance's team is up to the level of his rematch, this challenge is pretty menacing. Which is why I'm happy just to have gotten rid of that Gyarados. At this point, Krako's not going to be all that much help to me, and there's not much HCB can do anyway, so I'm probably just going to fodder him out. Especially against this Charizard. I mean, anything this Charizard does will knock HC Beetle out in one hit anyway. But given the fact that he has 2 fighting-type moves and a ground-type move, and the majority of these things that we have to face off against will take little to no damage from them whatsoever, given their typing, he's not going to be all that useful in this fight. Now that said, if they don't kill me off, I'd very much like to try, but I am banking on not getting much of anything from HCB anyway. And Shedskin kicks in. Wonderful! I'm thinking I'll take this opportunity to heal up because the Charizard's going to outspeed me anyway, and if he's any sort of smart, he'll kill me off with Flamethrower or something. So I'll heal up Krako, and we'll just go from there. He could have played it safe and gone with Flamethrower, but Air Slash is 4 times super effective. He's just going for style points. And right now, I think we're down to 4 on their side. I can totally live with that. So let's bring in Crunch and see what we can do from here. I'm already on a much better foot than I was last time, but by no means am I counting my chickens here. I'm hopeful we'll be able to take 1 hit from that Charizard. I know for a fact this is going to be at least a 2-hit KO. It's not. My first attempt on this ended with Crunch at half health versus that Charizard, and an Air Slash did more than half to me and knocked me out. How did that do so little damage? I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought for a second at the end of that last fight that I stood something of a chance. And oh, it was the light screen. That's... well, crap. Because now that Air Slash is going to do twice as much damage, which will more than likely knock out Crunch. And I would very much like to have him because he has Ice Fang. But at the same time, the Dragonite that he would be used against knows Thunder, and that'll knock him out in one shot too. I don't know, I want to risk it. I really do. I don't know how much help it's going to be. Krako does resist them both, but he'll just use... I guess I'll try to shuffle around. If he's going to use Air Slash, at least Krako can resist it, and maybe my rival will be able to take care of him. Or if he hits himself in Confusion too, that would be marvelous. But I'm hoping... okay, we've got the Charizard down! We've got the Charizard down, and I can finally hold on to Krako. Because I don't want to do too much damage to my rival. I want to keep him alive as long as possible, because he's going to be using a whole crap load of status ailments on these guys. And it's more help than anything at this point. He's asleep, though. Super! I'm feeling confident now. I'm feeling confident. They're down to 3, even though he does have his level 75 Dragonite. Crap. Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Paralyze it? Maybe? Draco Meteor, we finally get to see it in action! Extremely powerful Dragon-type move, but lowers your special attack 2 stages after you use it. I don't suppose Gengar was going to be able to do much of anything being asleep anyway. I don't know why he didn't switch before. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that he was yawned on the previous turn. I do think we'll be able to take a Hydro Pump, and if we can paralyze that Dragonite, that would be marvelous. Great! Well, that changes my plans. So if either of those are able to get off any kind of attack on Krako, he's going to die. I guess I'll go with Lupus, because at this point he's the weakest link on our team. He's not going to be able to do much of anything to these things. So hopefully Crobat's going to be able to status these things and stall for time so I can get together a better strategy for them. I'm also very much considering getting up a Sunny Day, if I can, which I can't. The Sunny Day would have not only weakened the Kingdra's Hydro Pump, but it would have also made Dragonite's Thunder miss 50% of the time. So another opportunity for me to use Sunny Day, completely destroyed by the fact that we couldn't effectively use it. But Duster, with the Choice Scarf, is... okay, it was faster than Clair's Dragonite. I don't know if it's going to be faster than Lance's Dragonite. It is! I love you, Duster! It's certainly not going to knock it out in one shot. It may be a 2-hit KO. No, it's not. Not even from that range is it a 2-hit KO. At least we're whittling down its health, and if it's confused, if it can hit itself a couple of times, we're in relatively good shape. This is going much better than the first time I tried. And the flinch from Bite! I'm certainly not going to say anything about how well this fight is going, because we know how superstitious I am, but I'm starting to get pretty darn confident at this point, given the fact that we just froze the level 75 Dragonite! I am getting extremely cocky at this point, but holding it in to the best of my ability because I know what happens when I start to get cocky. Oh man, this is starting to feel more and more possible. The biggest hurdle in this entire LP was getting past this fight, and it's starting to seem reasonable that we could possibly win. I was going to switch him out anyway. I don't mind you wasting your yawn on me. That's perfect. So who can we switch in now that we should be able to wall this Kingdra with Crunch, but I wouldn't have anything to hit it with. I guess we'll go with Klaus. Because I think Clair still has her level 60 Dragonite, and depending on what we're able to do to it before I get to switch in either Duster or Crunch, I'm thinking maybe we could get a couple of status ailments on it, or given the fact that Crobat's probably going to die soon, maybe just the paralysis. But if we could get the paralysis on that Dragonite, I think we'd have it in the bag. But the combination of Air Cutter from Crobat and Psychic from Klaus should do in this Kingdra. Now it's just a matter of can we deal with Clair's Dragonite. We've already gotten the level 75 Dragonite out of the way, which was Lance's. Now all that's left is Clair's level 60 Dragonite. And this we should be able to deal with. It does have Thunder though, so I have to be very careful about how I bring in Crunch. If I'm able to paralyze it, then I can bring him in without a worry and just Ice Fang him to death. Or if the combination Psychic Confusion is enough to get it down to below half health, I should be able to bring in Duster to Ice Beam it. So that's going to do in the third and final member of our Rivals team. He did a wonderful job getting with the confusion and the poison. You can't underestimate that. But if we're lucky, we'll be able to get this Psychic off, and we just won the fight. Oh my goodness. Given how badly the first one went, just because I led with Duster instead of Krako, you don't understand just how relieved I am at this point that we were actually able to win this fight. Good lord, and all that money well deserved. Don't worry, Lance. We'll be seeing you again shortly. And you too, Clair. Well, that's a relief. Well, now that we've just won that fight... Alan! How you doing, Alan? I feel like bragging right now. Do you know who we just beat? Okay. Okay, you and your Tangela. That's wonderful. But now that we've taken down the combination of Clair and Lance, we have the opportunity to face off against our rival one last time. So I'll meet you guys at Indigo Plateau. Now that we've defeated the duo of Clair and Lance in the Dragon's Den against our rival, we'll be able to meet him here at Indigo Plateau on Mondays and Wednesdays, and conveniently enough, today's Wednesday. And you can do this any number of times you like once you defeat Clair and Lance. And for the first time, you lead with this Sneasel? Why are you leading with the Sneasel? I expected you to lead with Crobat. What gives? Why are you changing things up like that? It's not like you're going to be able to do anything to Krako anyway, but I kind of wanted to sneak HCB in for at least a turn or two. But Ice is weak to Steel! Bet you didn't know that. Steel is used so infrequently you don't even realize what things are weak to Steel. I mean, Rock is weak to Steel, Ice is weak to Steel. I want to say that's it, but Steel's a pretty cool type nonetheless, and with how frail Sneasel is, I was kind of expecting him to have a Weavile at this point. Why does he not have a Weavile? What gives? Oh well. We've seen Alakazam before. I just think it's really neat that you can face off against your rival as many times as you would like after you face him a couple of other times. Is this team any stronger than it was before? It doesn't seem like it. I'm very thankful that I missed again! But I know that's been implemented in a lot of the later games as well, where you can face off against your rival's final team as many times as you like, and that didn't kill you! Which means a Focus Blast is probably going to kill me on the next turn if you don't heal it! Called it! It's just so nice to be able to hear these themes in the original Game Boy. Again, after such a long time. I mean, some people, when they're Let's Playing, they don't even go after the Game Boy sounds when they get all 16 badges. That really disappoints me. And if any of them happen to be watching, you know who you are. That really did disappoint me. I was surprised you didn't even know it existed. Or you might have run into it during the playthrough and you didn't ever go back for. I don't know, it still disappointed me. Does Klaus have Quick Attack? That should be able to knock it out. I don't know if it would be faster enough to get off a Shadow Ball before it would attack us anyway, which is why I'm going for the Quick Attack. But with how frail Alakazam is, it shouldn't be able to survive it anyway. Why do I get the feeling that the exact same situation played out the last time we fought this guy? But he's not going to have the thing I wanted him to show off. I gave everybody back their original items, by the way, which is why Duster's no longer got the Choice Scarf. And Gengar is probably going to outspeed us. I don't know what the hell this thing would have either, unless Focus Blast, in which case we're already dead. I got rid of Whirlpool. I don't know what I'd put in its place again, since Return is infinitely better than Strength. I'm not sure if we'll ever need Strength again, which is why I want to leave that slot open. I don't know what else I'd want to teach Duster in place of it. But I'll worry about that later. That didn't do nearly as much damage as I was hoping it would do. I could bring in Krako to take the Sludge Bomb because he shouldn't be affected by it. I don't know why he'd go for anything else, but we should resist Shadow Ball either. I don't think there's anything that this Gengar could do to us to hurt us. But I don't see the reason why you would give Gengar Dark Pulse as opposed to just using Shadow Ball. To the best of my memory, Ghost and Dark are strong against the same types, and no more or less than the other. They're both strong against Ghost, they're both strong against Psychic. I don't think there's any advantage to having one over the other unless you want to be able to hit normal types, but you'd run a fighting move otherwise. Is he holding off on showing off the thing that I wanted him to show off? I wanted to use Lupus against Meganium, but he's dead now, so we're going to have to go with HCB's not Sharp Beak boosted, but Aerial Ace. Although I'm not sure whether or not Close Combat would be doing more damage at this point. It is Black Belt boosted, it is of the fighting type. And now that you put up Light Screen, it just gives me the option of showing off the fact that Brick Break goes through Reflect and Light Screen. I'm very happy I was able to show that off before the end of the LP. It's a very situational thing, but it's like using Stomp with Minimize. There are so few opportunities to show that kind of thing off that when you do, you just have to take advantage and go for it. And Brick Break does actually strike after you break the screens. So if it's got Reflect up, it's going to be doing as much damage as if Reflect was not put up on the previous turn. And we should be able to knock it out with a Close Combat because it's stock twice as powerful as Aerial Ace. So even if it wasn't boosted with Stab and the Black Belt, it would be just as powerful as a super effective Aerial Ace. I'm hoping that he shows off. Remember the Golbat that he didn't get the chance to evolve because it wasn't happy enough with him? We already saw the Crobat in the previous battle, but I was too caught up in the moment to actually explain this. He's apparently had enough of a change of heart to the point where it finally evolved. And I'd like to think that this is an indication of the fact that Snicker's actually turned over a new leaf, has become a new man, and he is all gung-ho about being happy with his Pokemon and treating them nicely, and who am I kidding? Nobody buys that crap. But there's still something to be said about the fact that it didn't evolve until he had that change of heart, regardless of how you feel about it. It's neat that they added that in, and you still have a Magneton. I guess I'm hoping HCB will get a level out of this, although I wasn't paying attention to his experience. He may not. But no, his Magneton never evolves into a Magnezone. Because there was no... I guess that's why his Sneasel didn't evolve either, because you really had no way of evolving them using Heart Gold, Soul Silver alone. Or at least I want to say that's the case with Sneasel. You may be able to trade him with a hold item to evolve him, but at least not solo on your own you'd be able to evolve him. I was really hopeful that HCB would get a level there because he'll finally learn a decent Bug-type move at the next level. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen now. We'll have to save it for some other time. But like I said before we entered into the battle, you can face off against a rival here any Monday or Wednesday from this point on. And that's going to do it for this episode. I'm very happy that we're finally able to set up the Gym Leader rematches next time. And after that, we've got a gauntlet of 16 rematchable Gym Leaders to take down. I hope you're as excited as I am. This is UniversalGiant, and I'll see you next time. Whatever, I don't know if Duster's going to outspeed it. If he doesn't, getting up to full health isn't going to make a difference. Although I'm very skeptical as to whether or not this Ice Beam is going to knock it out. Even though it is 4 times super effective. There we go! I stand a chance! Holy crap! Charizard's going to knock me out with this next hit, whatever it happens to be, but regardless... we're still alive here! We're still breathing! We have a chance!